Hey, it's Olly, welcome back to another video from the park here, all about language learning. And today is a simple question which has had a big impact on me. It's something I never used to think about, but I have been thinking about more recently. And I think this is something which depends a lot on your situation, stage in life that you're at, and your experience with language learning, your motivations for learning, all these things. And the question is this: how can you make your language learning fun? How can you inject some fun into your routine? Our brains need excitement. They need novelty. The more positive hormones you can secrete into your bloodstream, the more you are going to learn. These things are hugely connected. And when I was learning my first few languages, it was about 15 years ago or so, and I notice a big difference now, when I'm learning languages now to when I used to. And I think it comes down to a difference in my motivations for learning, but also the kind of satisfaction that I get from learning language. I think I feel that's changed a little bit over time. At the beginning, like when I was learning French and Spanish and Portuguese, Italian, I was just all I wanted to do was go out and sort of have fun and meet people and travel. That's what I cared about. I was fortunate, I think, at that time to have a kind of environment at university. Shortly after university, I used to work as a musician, so I had quite a lot of flexibility in my schedule. I could take time off when I wanted to, all that stuff, and that really allowed me to fuse the learning of the languages with my social life. So I had lots of friends in all these languages. All I really cared about was going out, hanging out with them, meeting their friends, chatting, going and visiting them in their home country. It was so much fun, and that really kind of, I didn't realize it at the time, but when I look back on it, I think that's a hugely important element in the success that I had with learning languages. So does that mean that now I don't learn languages for fun? Well, not in the same way. I think I derive a huge amount of satisfaction, of personal satisfaction and senses of fulfillment and achievement, and also intellectual gratification from learning languages, but they're not so linked to my sort of my daily life as they used to be. And I think I've noticed that especially at this phase in my life, when I'm working hard. I don't go out that much. I travel a fair bit for work, but I tend to work a lot in isolation. So my language learning opportunities have to be created and grafted. I'm not kind of just out every night with people around me able to practice, and I do find that takes a toll over time, on my motivation to continue learning, and also the speed at which I can learn, because I'm a very kind of, I learn socially. I'm very much, when I develop fluency in a language, it comes from really using it with people and interacting. Even things like an accent, I think my accents tend to be reasonably good in my language, and I think that comes from interacting a lot with people and fine-tuning over time. And so I was talking with a friend of mine, Nassos, from metalearn.net recently in London, and I was telling him about a kind of dip in motivation that I've been having recently, and he asked me a very good question. Nassos is great at asking questions, and he asked me, Olly, how can you make it fun again? And how can you make your language learning fun? And that really struck with me, because it kind of dawned on me that my language learning, I've been relying a lot on the skills that I've developed over the years to learn, but it's very much kind of an intellectual pursuit, and the kind of more human element of the language was missing a little bit for me. And so I started thinking about how I can do that, and really the answer for me came down to identifying who were the people kind of close to me who spoke those languages, who I can speak those languages with, and doing everything I can to spend more time with them, putting the books down, going out, just hanging out and using it for real reasons, going out for drinks, for dinner, hanging out in the park, doing whatever it may be. And then later, a couple of weeks later, my friend Kirsten Kirsten from fluentlanguage.co.uk sent out a tweet saying something like the 3 rules for language learning, and I can't remember what they were, but one of them was make it fun. And I thought, yes, that's it, make it fun. It's like, when you keep seeing these messages over and over again, you have to start paying attention, right? I kind of felt that that's like what it was for me. So I'm thinking a lot about this right now, is how can I make my language learning fun? And if you are in a position where you are maybe in a bit of a lull, you don't have as much motivation and momentum as you used to, maybe you're starting to ask yourself why and how much longer you can keep it up for, ask yourself how you can make it fun and just watch what happens. If you've got any ideas, leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you would do to make your language learning fun. Maybe you can give some other people some inspiration. So I hope that was thought-provoking. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like more of these delivered to your YouTube feed, and I guess to your email as well. There's a little button at the top of the YouTube screen where you can click to get notifications as well when these videos go up. So do that so you can hear from me. But I think I'm supposed to say that. So there we go. Talk to you next time.